Upon first startup, I realized that there was an injector feed line leaking, and I believe it was coming from number 1 and possibly number 3 as well. So I got a couple of lines here. So we're gonna swap out a couple of these feed lines right here, and then we'll go on the first rip. All right, what it looks like is going on is cylinder number 1 seems to be leaking a little bit right up here on the fuel rail itself. Can't really see it without a light, but there's a little bit of residual fuel sitting right there. And then number 3 is leaking out around the top of that fitting and the line itself. So we'll be moving this victim out of the way, replacing injector feed line number 1 and 3, and then let it start warming up. I'm going to remove this air intake pipe right here just to be able to get a little bit more room on getting to that feed line from the fuel rail up here. Okay, now we'll open up our new feed lines we got. This will be injector 3 and 6. That one over there. This one, number 1, number 8. Okay, so now that these feed lines are all hooked up to the feed rail, all tightened down, we can put these safety clips back in to the injector harness. Put those in, put that harness back underneath the Y bridge, and then we'll go right back down to here, finish tightening up the bottom, and put the retainers around the lines. Okay, now that all the injector feed lines are in and everything's buttoned back up, we're gonna fire the truck up, double check for leaks, make sure nothing's going on like that. And then if that's good, we'll let it warm up and we'll take it on a first little drive. Okay, we'll let it warm up and then we'll go for a little test drive. Okay, so now that the truck's warmed up, go for a little rip. Overall so far, this thing spools up way faster than what the 68 did. It's not nearly as smoky. This thing currently is tuned for the RDS 68mm. That was apparently going bad the whole time. So it's tuned for that. So it's probably not running at its optimal performance. But I've got a base file at home that will flash on it after we get back, after putting a few miles on this thing, and see if it makes any sort of difference. Just over here cruising, sitting at like 2 pounds of boost. Here we're going to do an easy acceleration. Ignore the slop. This is in my steering column. If you see this kind of going all over the place, that's what this is about. I'll have another video on actually swapping out this steering column with a better one, but we'll do a quick little acceleration. Put a few more miles on it. We'll go home. We'll flash the base file of the Billet S369 tune, and we'll go from there. We'll test drive it again. Okay, so we put about 75 miles on the setup, and everything seems to still be okay. Don't seem to be having any sort of leaks. Okay, now we're gonna flash the truck. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the truck right over here, right in front of my front door. So my Wi-Fi will reach the laptop and we'll get that flashed, and then we'll take it on another test drive. So now we're gonna full flash this. Okay, I'm just gonna step back, let it do its thing right here. Okay, so it looks like it's done. It says switch the ignition off, then click the button. So turn the ignition off. Start the countdown. Okay, the countdown is complete. So now we just exit out all this stuff. All right, we're gonna go for a little drive, see how these tunes compare to the last ones. But the neighbors love this. This has got to be one of the slowest pumps ever. At least I can watch the news.
I mean, Jordan Fuller, we got the contrasting links here between. How about Fred Warner?
Okay, so we gave up after 25 bucks on the last one. So let's try this one. Hope this one's a little bit better. Way faster. Alright, so we got a full tank. No oil pressure. So now we're just gonna go put some more miles on it. Try to break this thing in. So we've went about 60 miles now. Trans temp 145. Everything seems to be pretty solid, working out pretty good. So that kind of wraps up this video on what we were trying to accomplish. Not sure yet what the next one's going to be, but there'll be something about a week after this one's posted.